I let the loop run one more day, counting pings like
Audit
sheep,
that bite, smiling every
I started
time
the forensic
Goldfish
sweep
swam.
like I was dusting for prints on a sandwich. Device fingerprinting first, every open, every forward, every oops, let me just save that left a smudge. Daphne's Mac had a Bluetooth signature that screamed, I pair with everything, including a speaker named Kitchen Bob's. Elsa's iPad passed through 3 networks in one day: home, co-working, and a salon called Hot Irony. Beautiful chaos. My beacons pinged like a microwave with a vendetta. Slack screenshots slid into my inbox from a friend whose name rhymed with someone not paid enough. They'd created a channel called #ShipCompliance. The description? Don't overthink the spelling. A developer pinned my watermark, Compliance FlowSpec V4, Goldfish. He wrote, "Is this legal?" Daphne replied, "We're family. It's communal." Elsa reacted with a heart, which is the corporate version of a crime scene high five. Then the money trail waddled in wearing a name tag. PayPal invoices from Family Flow to boutiques listed my internal code name as a SKU, Penguin March Tier B. The memo lines read like a diary written by my product roadmap. One even said expedite per SOP V4, which is adorable because SOP V4 was my honey with the spicy aftertaste. My spreadsheets purred. I compared client lists. Overlap popped like popcorn. They targeted 15 of my top 50 accounts by name, down to my misprinted tier Pro Elite, the same typo baked into the fake deck. The Venn diagram was just a circle labeled caught. I opened a shared folder of theirs someone accidentally exposed. File names included onboarding, script, final, and how to sound like him.docx. That last one felt personal. I opened it. First line, use humor. He does jokes. Second line, don't overdo it. I laughed so hard my coffee filed a complaint. Time to prod the fence. My assistant, she is a spreadsheet and lipstick, sent a test email to their sales inbox under a burner brand. Offer, overpay for a rush if they could mirror our existing Penguin March settings. They replied in 12 minutes with my deck attached, watermark glowing like a neon confession, and the Unicode fingerprint intact. My zero-width ghost still spelling Goldfish in the footer line breaks. They quoted my prices -10% and wrote, "We co-founded this flow." I circled co-founded like a teacher grading Audacity. Mom texted exactly then. "Be nice, share the sandbox." I wrote back, "Sandbox is full of broken glass." She sent a gif of a kitten in a teacup. I sent a gif of a judge sipping coffee. The receipts grew teeth. Email headers confirmed their investor had forwarded my honey to his counsel with, "Seems similar, but collaborative?" The law firm replied, "If collaborative means Exhibit A, then yes." I printed that, framed it, and briefly considered sending it as a holiday card. I found the rape. They'd mirrored my module names, including Polite Bouncer, which, again, was on my white paper and patent draft. Commit messages told a tragic poem. Patch loop again. Temporary disabled loop patch. Why loop so angry? Help. One ticket linked to a screenshot of the smart dedupe merging Alex Shop and Alex Shop into Al Shop. Their accountant posted a crying emoji and a spreadsheet of refunds. A small, guilty joy warmed my petty bones. Vendors stepped into their roles like seasoned actors. Julio called, delighted. They asked for a courtesy domain discount for familyflow.biz. I said, domain doesn't exist. He said, I know. I gave them a courtesy hang-up. Another supplier emailed an affidavit draft unprompted. They referenced exclusivity with you, which we declined. I sent him a fruit basket shaped like a cease and desist. With proof piling, I wondered if I could peel their backers off like labels on a jar. I pinged the investor for lunch. Meanwhile, I ran one more sting. A calendar invite from my burner, Operations Lisa, offered a demo slot. Daphne accepted, CCing Elsa and Dev at Family Flow. We hopped on. I used my new client voice, polite, bored, expensively patient. We need Penguin March as delivered to. Daphne said, we can replicate that. We architected the original method. I said, great, can you send your patent number? She said, patents are a construct. Elsa coughed. A developer asked, is compliance spelled? Daphne cut him off. We're innovating spelling. I ended the call and sent a courtesy note that we'd circle back. Then I forwarded the recording to Mara with a subject line only she'd enjoy. Construct this. Personal finances did a jump scare. I looked at payroll, looked at my legal bill, looked at my pantry. Beans, rice, vibes. My bank app said, friendly reminder, please don't. I brewed cheaper coffee and labeled the mug litigation. Mom tried again. Sunday brunch? I said, Sunday boundaries. She said, I'll make pancakes. I said, I'll make a timeline. She sighed the sigh of a woman who once forced 3 children to share a Nintendo and now lives with the consequences. By the end of the week, my folder Exhibit A through LOL needed a sequel. I built a master index, watermarks, headers, beacons, Slack, repo, invoices, vendor affidavits, demo call, Unicode fingerprints, Canary token logs. Every breadcrumb pointed one direction. They took the honey, licked the jar, and installed the bees. Could I flip their investor before court? That was the plan. I booked a calm lunch, notepad ready, jokes holstered. I would bring the map, the compass, and the smoking canary named Goldfish. Investor flip, a bigger battle name. I met the investor at a place where the chairs were made of reclaimed lumber and the menus were made of reclaimed novels. He shook my hand like a man who'd never missed yoga. I'm Reed, he said. Like that clarified the seasoning on the fries. I said, I'm the guy your portfolio just tried to plagiarize. He smiled the non-committal smile of a man who has lawyers. Let's compare notes. I slid a neat stack from my bag. The map, the compass, and the smoking canary named Goldfish. First, I named the opponent like a boxing promo. In this corner, the family LLC. In the other corner, my patience. He chuckled. I didn't. We're in the exclusivity war, I said, tapping a clause highlighted in sunshine yellow. They promise your returns. I promise injunctions. We started with politeness. Here's my provisional patent filing receipt, time-stamped before their LLC existed. I placed it like a coaster. Here's the white paper draft with my module nicknames. I flipped to polite bouncer. Here are the canary pings from my fake SOP opening on their devices. I pointed to Daphne MacBook, Elsa iPad OS, Family Flow Fallback, a lineup that felt like a sitcom cast. Reed sipped his lemon water. Could be parallel thinking. I smiled like a cat at a laser pointer. Totally. Parallel, except for the part where they copied my unique misspelling. I produced the slide photo. Compliance FlowSpec V4. Goldfish, sparkling in the corner like a felony nightlight. He leaned closer. That's oddly specific. I nodded. So is the JIRA ticket that says Fix Compliance per SOP V4, Goldfish. I handed him the printout with a red circle that screamed Courtroom chic. He tried a different hill. They told me you were collaborating informally. I slid the email where their counsel called Collaborative Exhibit A. They also told me they architected Penguin March. I set a PayPal invoice on the table with my internal SKU. Adorable. He breathed out like a balloon. What are you asking? This was my favorite part. Freeze their funds, I said. Today. Not tomorrow when they torch a supplier relationship and make me look like a jealous gremlin. You ask for IP clearance or you pause every dollar. He squinted. And if I don't? I gave him a friendly shrug. Then we graduate from exclusivity war to public relations winter. I pushed over a folder labeled, If I Have To. Inside, time-stamped medium draft, vendor affidavits, screenshots of their we co-founded this lie, and my TRO paperwork with a tab that said, Teeth. No drama if you act, all the drama if you don't. He tapped the folder. Temporary restraining order? Polite bouncer, but for bank accounts, I said. Judge says no, they still limp. Judge says yes, you don't want to be on the other side when the music stops. His rosemary aura wilted. I need to verify. Please do, I said, sliding him a neat index page like a tasting menu. Start with the beacons. They'll ping while you read. He laughed despite himself. You're very prepared. I held up my mug that said litigation. I downgraded coffee for this. He excused himself to call legal. I texted Mara, khakis entering enlightenment. She replied with a shark emoji and a croissant. I loved her communication style. Reed returned with a face 2 shades more serious. We're freezing funds pending IP clearance, he said, like a man announcing rain to a picnic. No more disbursements, and I'll need something in writing from you summarizing your claims. I slid a one-pager across, already signed. He blinked. You had this ready? Sir, I had this laminated. He nodded slowly. I'll inform them. Expect heated responses. They'll attempt rebrand, I said. Nothing makes a thief sprint like a frozen bank. He frowned. Will that matter? They'll get sloppy, I said. Sloppier than Compliance. I left the restaurant grinning at a parking meter like it had passed the bar. 10 minutes later, Daphne called. Did you talk to Reed? I talked to many Reeds, I said. Why? Her voice jittered. He paused disbursements. Interesting. We need to meet. Interesting squared. Elsa texted, all caps. Did you sabotage us? I replied, no. You self-sabotaged. I just labeled it. By sunset, the rebrand sprint began. Family Flow became Kinkinetics, then Kinops, then Kinops.io because .coms were mean. Their new logo looked like a pretzel regretting its life. In the flurry, they made worse mistakes. They forgot to scrub polite bouncer from their CSS comments. They pushed a public changelog, removed auto sync loop per SOP. Which SOP? Oh, sweetheart. And here's where it got darkly funny. They launched a smear campaign at the exact second their runway was a kiddie pool. Posts appeared. He stole our idea. He's gatekeeping innovation. He hates family. Stock baby photos. A caption, blood over business. Comments from their friends, tag Oprah. I took a breath. I wanted to dunk them into the receipts bathtub. Instead, I scheduled. First, the investor flips. Then, the bigger battle gets a name. I opened my notebook and wrote it in thick marker, the exclusivity war. Under that, rules of engagement. Don't outshout, outdocument. Don't rage post, stage post. Don't brunch, bring briefs. They escalated. Therefore, I would escalate smarter. I queued the white paper. I tidied the affidavit. I lined up the TRO like Domino 1. I texted Mara, game board set. She wrote back, roll initiative. I cracked my knuckles. The battle had a name. The funds were frozen, and my Goldfish watermarks swam lazy circles like a tiny lawyer on vacation. Smear, receipts, and the public trap. The smear hit like a glitter bomb, messy, attention-grabbing, impossible to vacuum. Elsa posted a carousel, baby photos, a graduation shot where she's holding a diploma and humility is absent, and a caption that read, "He stole our idea and abandoned family." Daphne added a reel with ukulele music because nothing says libel like gentle strumming. Comments flooded in. So brave. Men are trash. Tag Oprah. Someone wrote, "What is Compliance?" And 40 people liked it. I scrolled, sipped discount coffee, and said to my mug, "We don't outshout, we outdocument." The mug, which now had tenure, nodded. Mara called. They chose violence. I said, they chose ukulele violence. She said, don't engage, stage the response, copy, and breathe. I inhaled like a yoga influencer and exhaled like a tax form. Moral dilemma time. Do I drop the entire receipt folder and salt the earth? The petty gremlin inside me unrolled a banner that said yes in sequence. The adult with payroll said, no, we like suppliers. My stomach chimed in with, beans again? I compromised. Humor, facts, no details. I opened Twitter, typed, Wild Week. Reminder, originality comes with timestamps. Watch this space. I added a goldfish emoji. Comments arrived asking if I was starting an aquarium. Close enough. They doubled down. He weaponized paperwork. He thinks he owns words. Daphne posted a close-up of her eyes with the caption, Gaslit girl boss gatekept. I almost Venmo'd her for the entertainment. My DMs filled with cousins. Hey King, is this about you? One sent a voice memo whispering from a bathroom like it was Watergate. They said you threatened brunch. I replied, only with invoices. Then came the hit that mattered. A key supplier paused orders for 72 hours to review public allegations. The email was polite. The subtext was, we hate drama, fix it, or we hide under our desk. That, right there, was harm. Mara texted 3 words, we file now. Before we launched the legal grenade, I set the public trap. Step 1, the dated white paper. I published the Medium post I'd prepped, timestamp intact, nerdy, but friendly. It explained, in clean sentences, why my approach was novel and documented. It didn't mention family flow, kin-ops, or whatever pretzel they were calling themselves today. It did use my nicknames, Penguin March, Lego Bin, Polite Bouncer, with a light coat of "I made these, here's why" evidence. The citations to provisional filings were like little Easter eggs for judges. Step 2. Third-party affidavit. Julio, saint of labels, signed a statement that he'd been approached by a family-themed entity to undercut exclusivity and that he declined. Another vendor added, they referenced specific nomenclature uniquely associated with the claimant. Lawyers froth over phrases like that. I bundled these like a charcuterie board for the court. Step 3. The gentle public note. I posted a thread, facts incoming, no fireworks. 1. I filed a provisional patent before any family business existed. 2. I documented unique systems and names. 3. Recent posts include my exact misspellings and watermark names. 4. Multiple third-party verified Canary tokens and invisible Unicode watermarks tie their copies to my seed document. 5. Legal process is ongoing. 6. I will not discuss family matters publicly. The tone was dad with a clipboard. People were weirdly relieved. A top comment, so Compliance was not French. I replied with a goldfish. Their camp tried to pivot. They posted a screenshot of a calendar invite where I'd written, family meeting, paperwork. Caption, he planned a trap. The internet politely noted that paperwork is not a felony. Someone zoomed in and circled my mug saying, litigation, which did not help my image, but also branding. I cued the final piece of the trap. A notarized affidavit from an outside auditor I'd hired for a one-day rush. He verified the beacons, the headers, and the access logs with a statement that read, the document titled Compliance Flowspec V4 Goldfish was accessed by devices associated with parties X and Y on dates A, B, and C. I love the cold elegance of third-party receipts. It's like God saying, I checked. Mara filed the complaint and the motion for a temporary restraining order at 8:59 a.m. like she was catching a train. We attached the white paper date, the beacons, the vendor affidavits, the investor freeze letter, screenshots of their slide with my watermark and misspelling, and the calendar freeze from the supplier. No adjectives, just nouns with timestamps. Judges love nouns. I posted one last time. We've moved from vibes to filings. Out of respect for the process, I won't comment further. The comments split. Half proud of you, King. Half, you're destroying your family. Both made me want tea. Across town, unaware of the danger. Okay, aware but in denial. KinOps posted a victory graphic. Innovation can't be owned. The K in KinOps was backwards. Comments were not kind. A former client wrote, why is my invoice merged with my neighbor's cat groomer? Another wrote, Compliance? I said nothing. The trap didn't require chasing. It required patience. At hour 48, my key supplier emailed. Pause will lift if court grants TRO. Translation. When the next domino and the assembly line unfreezes. I sent that to Mura with 3 fire emojis and 1 bean. Night before the hearing, Elsa posted a crying selfie. Caption, I never thought he would do this to us. I stared at my ceiling fan. This is the part movies skip, the queasy mix of righteous and rotten. I checked payroll again. Beans waved. I whispered, tomorrow. Court Goldfish in discovery my head and leverage. A tiny bubble. Hearing week opened like a browser with 40 tabs. Mara slid into my office carrying a binder that could bench press a paralegal. Discovery packet, she said. We don't need everything, just enough to make a judge say yikes. I said, I brought my indoor voice. She smiled. Keep it. Judges like indoor voices. We stacked the evidence buffet style. First course, patent timelines. Receipt of provisional filing stamped like it paid rent on month 1. Patent draft pages featuring Penguin March, Lego Bin, and Polite Bouncer, dated, notarized by the universe, and blessed by my deeply petty soul. We clipped in my medium white paper with its older timestamp, which read like a nerd's diary entry. Dear future me, these are my ideas. Please don't let cousins touch. Second course, access logs and Canary token pings. I narrated like a podcast host. Here's Daphne's MacBook signature opening Compliance FlowSpec V4 Goldfish at 9:13 a.m. Token ID CF91, firing from IP ending .42. Forwarding at 9:15 with token CF92. Uploaded to Family Flowmaster at 9:17. Here's Elsa's iPad at the salon named Hot Irony. Shout out to their blowouts. Opening the link at 11:22 with token CF101. Mara stuck tabs like tiny neon flags. Judges love arrows, she said, drawing one so thick it could guide planes. Third course, vendor affidavits. Julio's statement practically winked. Approached by family-themed entity requesting exclusivity breach. Declined. The second vendor's line about unique nomenclature got its own gold star. That phrase is catnip, Mara said. If this were TV, that line would get a close-up and intense violin. We added investor artifacts. The freeze letter, crisp, khaki-scented, mortifying. Reed's note, funds paused pending IP clearance. We tucked in the auditor's certificate confirming the Unicode watermark. Zero width joiners encoding Goldfish persisted across their slide exports and repo wiki. I put a smiley face sticker on the tab. Mara peeled it off. We are professionals. I put the sticker on my mug. Then came my favorite, the JIRA ticket with fixed compliance per SOP, Goldfish. Mara held it between two fingers like it might confess. This, she said, is not just a receipt. It's a receipt wearing a neon vest and waving traffic. We layered on the PayPal invoices listing Penguin March Tier B like they'd shopped my roadmap. Depositions were a buffet of foot and mouth. Mara prepped me. Short questions, long pauses. Let them perform. I nodded. And no sarcasm. I blinked. I'm unfamiliar. She patted my shoulder like a coach telling a sprinter to become soup. Try. We started with their junior dev, bless him. Where did you obtain the document labeled Compliance FlowSpec V4, Goldfish? Long pause. He blurted. Slack. Who posted it? Daphne. Source? She said from the family. Define family. He stared at the ceiling like answers lived there. The people who share DNA? Mara wrote, thanks, with the pen equivalent of a smirk.